So there's a video making the rounds that children are being held in Walmarts, okay? Immigrant children. It's not exactly true. Not the way it's being portrayed. Like, first of all, the Biden administration is from the same Obama line, okay? They likely have kids in cages. Who knows where most of the kids are. But this is 2018 is when this whole Walmart thing, housing children. Yes, former Walmart stores, because they're so big, they were converted under the Trump administration into places to put migrant children. I'll show you some pictures of them, and you can decide if you would prefer that or cages. And yes, Trump had a zero tolerance when it came to illegal immigration, and he did separate families. Not because he is a evil man, but because he's doing the right thing. Most of the children are trafficked. So you have to separate them from, and maybe some of them it's their family, but they would require fingerprints. And of course the Democrats were all upset about that. Oh, well, that will make the parents not, they'll be afraid of being deported. So now you've separated the children. No, this is the same damn party along with the rhinos that's known about trafficking, okay? I mean, they're fine. They don't want us to do ID to vote. Just think about how stupid they are. But if you go to a convention of theirs, you need to have your Social Security, your ID, everything, your driver's license, your birth certificate. They're such hypocrites. But I'll show you the pictures, because people are blowing this into a conspiracy theory, actually. Because I know most of the conspiracy theories have come true. They have, most of them. But this one isn't fair. Not to Walmart. And because it's a former store of theirs. And here's the way I look at it as a psych nurse. This is actually therapeutic, because there's counselors for every 8 children, and the longest they stay there is like 56 days. It's to reunite them with their actual family. So yes, Trump had a zero tolerance policy on that. If you come over the border, we will separate if you're coming over illegally. And that is the best thing to do, because you don't know, because of all of the trafficking that's gone on. So this was 2018. Inside, this is what they called it, Casa Padre, the converted Walmart where the U.S. is holding nearly 1,500 immigrant children. This was 2018 when Trump was doing something about the border, okay? But they were still flooding, because they were flooding during Obama's, nothing like now, of course. But we really just weren't told. And Obama had them in cages, okay? But they put that on Trump. Trump did not put them in cages. Really what this is it's a residential. I as a psych nurse, that's many times where we have to place behavioral issue kids where their parents can't manage them because they're so violent or whatever the reasons. There has to be severe but this is no different. This is no different. And yet people are like, oh, this is horrible. No, what's worse is letting them stay with a trafficker that's going to sell them, exploit them, rape them, and God knows what else. This is actually humane. So here's one of the pictures, and it was on all the major news channels because they wanted to make Trump look horrible. No, there's nothing wrong with any of these pictures. A Walmart turned shelter houses almost 1,500 undocumented children. The shelter is clean and well-staffed, and activities to keep kids busy and their minds off their unfortunate situations. They are also allowed to make 2 phone calls, I think, a week, and, hopefully to their loved ones. They're trying to reunite them with their real families. People in many other countries, there's many people in our government that benefited financially from trafficking, okay, by looking the other way and all that, kickbacks. Yeah, all the people, the Democrats and the rhinos that carried on about, oh my God, Trump separated families no, this is nothing more than what we would do for residential kids. These kids are being treated right. Do they have some rules? Yeah. Unlike what the current administration and the Democrat Party wants is just complete chaos. That's obvious with the open border. But Trump was trying to reunite families, because likely most of these kids were not with their actual parent and they're too afraid to tell you. So you have to separate them. Murals are plastered on the walls of Walmart turned shelter for almost 1,500. So many of the murals are like former presidents. Yep. They go to school to learn about U.S. history. Yep. Within there, they are outside 2 hours a day. They have plenty. They have like a basketball court. Yeah, I mean, 3 meals a day. You see, yeah, there has to be order. Of course, the Democrats probably hate order. I mean, they just look at the chaos at the border. Yeah, the children get 3 daily meals and 2 snacks. They have access to video games, pool tables, and classes where they learn English and U.S. civics. This is all very good, especially given the circumstances these children are in. Hell, this is more than we do that the government does for, than we get for mental health. But I'm not bashing Trump for that. What I'm saying is that if what we have right now is with the open border is a massive mental health crisis on the horizon. Trump was trying to not only prevent that, but to make sure these kids were not trafficked, and I'm sure many were. So if the families are really the people that brought them across the border, then they shouldn't care if they get fingerprinted. Yep, these are the bunks, or the beds. Shelters for minors are now 95% full, and officials are even considering housing young immigrants temporarily on U.S. military facilities. That's all of this is better than cages. This is not like the Walmart where they're going shopping and they're in there. No, this is just a former Walmart store. It's huge. They're huge. It's the perfect place when you have mass amounts of kids that you need to separate so that you do what's in the children's best interest, so they're not sexually exploited. It's too bad that the former Paul Ryan, who's a rhino, and Nancy Pelosi and most of the Democrats couldn't put this together about why you would want to separate children from families that are, if they're coming in here illegally, yes, you do, for the safety of the children. And the families, the real parents of these kids, they should want that. It's not like they're not reunited. The longest stay I read was 56 days. Yep. Our goal is to reunite kids with their families. This was under Trump's administration, so this isn't current. Likely they're who knows what happens to these kids. It's not like Biden cares about anybody or any of the Democrats or rhinos. Presidential murals line the walls of Casa Padre, along with President Trump. Others depicted included Abraham Lincoln, Dwight Eisenhower, and John F. Kennedy. There's one picture where it has a teddy bear, like for younger, on the bed, and there was or maybe this is the one that has the quote. Something about sometimes losing a battle is how you find a new way to win the war. That was Donald Trump. Sometimes losing the battle, you find a new way to win the war. That's a perfect kind of quote for these kids. You want to keep them uplifted, you do. Basically this would be ideal for our kids in the DC, our citizens in the DCFS system. But yeah, that's such a messed up. There's so many things that could be fixed with that, but they keep it broken for a reason, because these people don't care. And as you can see, the same quote is over on the other side of Trump, but in Spanish. So they made sure to account for the 3 meals a day. They're going to school. They're learning U.S. English and civics, because if you're going to come here legally, you do have to know our history, even though the Democrats and most of Washington doesn't give a shit about our Constitution. That's still pretty much required. So all of this is good. So this Walmart, kids being held in Walmarts, if they're not at this point, or former Walmarts, I should say, then they're likely being trafficked, because this was under Trump's administration when he was doing something about trafficking and keeping children safe, unlike what we have now, which is chaos because of the Democrat Party.